Yo, T-Dog, how you doing, bro?
I'm chewing pretty heavily over here. I might be able to pick
I
some of
see
that
that.
up on mic. I'm down in Haribo gummy bears, like their dinner. They might be boy dinner tonight, actually.
Don't tell me that you're still eating Halloween candy. Why do you have those?
I like to have a few gummy bears in the house for hosting. Something special about when you walk in a friend's house and then they immediately supply you with a little bowl of gummy bears just to refresh the palate. This happened to me last weekend. I went to a friend's house and they pulled out the Haribos, and since then I've stocked my pantry with them just in the off chance a friendly neighbor swings by.
Wow, I'll be there in 30 minutes. I love how
All the red ones will
I love
be
how
eaten.
yeah. You also seem like the kind of guy to like experiment with a gummy bear garnish on a cocktail, like a whiskey sour with a little green gummy bear sitting on top of the foam, just
Hmm.
lounging.
Gummy bear would make a good garnish. The challenge is you have to serve them whole, because if you said that this cocktail has like shredded or minced gummy bear on it, it it feels a little bit impersonal and a little insensitive.
That's true. It's kind of like when you order like a bucket of chicken wings. It's like, how many chickens did this come from? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's like a bunch of chickens
Where's the
contributed to
rest of
this
it?
bucket. Yeah.
Hmm.
Even if you get two drumsticks, it's like they could be from different chickens.
You kind of just assume that they kill one chicken and put both drumsticks in your bucket, but that's not the case. You're getting a unique drumstick from every drumstick is a unique chicken.
And that other drumstick, or the other drumstick from the matching drumstick, I should say, from when you're eating, could be in a different country. Like it could have come from one factory, but then shipped to across the border, and now somebody in like Montana is sharing a chicken with you all the way in Canada.
Oh, wow. Dude, you're right. If you actually take every part of the chicken after it explodes and we're able to like pull it up on the Find My app, you'd be zooming out to satellite level to see all the different pieces. It's probably you got probably a piece of chicken in every continent.
Totally. And you know what's crazy to think about, Ty? I swear to God, I've said this on this podcast already. But did you know that there's 28 billion chickens on Earth?
Mhm. There's a
You
lot
know
of
that because I
chickens.
told you.
Dude, it's
Crazy.
crazy. But like I that fact is usually followed up with some sort of fact about how many chickens Costco sells a day, which I also know to be an
Mm,
absurd number.
hmm they force you to buy too many chickens. Nobody needs to buy more than one chicken at a time unless you have a family of 10.
Yeah, here we go. Costco sells 106 million chickens a year, which breaks down to an average of 506 chickens per store per day.
100 and 506 or 106?
500.
Huh.
So 500 chickens leaves every single Costco store every single day. There's numerous Costco's in Vancouver area. So Vancouver alone is eating thousands of Costco or thousands of chickens just from Costco. Think about like the mass genocide. I don't want this to become a PETA podcast, but the genocide of chickens to supply that demand is
Peter.
incredible. PETA.
Peter, do you know how many
I can't.
chickens are sold at Costco every day?
That's a really good impression.
Thank you.
Makes me think, with its 44,000 locations and counting, how many chickens Subway is burning through? How many birds?
Yeah, way too many, that's for sure. But I think this like statistic is a little bit misleading because is it counting only the full rotisserie chicken before it is exploded? Or are they counting the pack of 20 chicken breasts that you can also buy? And is like how many chicken breasts equals one chicken, you know? Because they come with two stock,
Hmm.
but the total mass of the chicken is how many breasts, right? Are we talking about just grams?
Eric asks this question a lot. How many breasts? How many grams?
I can only
Eric,
focus
I'll
on
like.
two things at once, Ty.
I can resolve this little issue you're having plain and simple, because the Wikipedia fact that I just read to you supplied the type of chicken we're talking about. And we're simply talking about, Eric, rotisserie chickens. We're not getting into the bits and bobs that are cut, diced, packed, assorted, and sold to you on the shelves.
Right. I did hear that the rotisserie chicken was a good deal, and the Save On Foods rotisserie chicken also cracks. I used to make
Mm-hmm.
those. That was my job, Ty. I used to make the rotisserie chicken that everyone loves. I'm the creator.
Wait, you did? You made
Yeah,
the
dude.
rotisserie chicken? The grocery store? Okay, hold up. How how do you make a rotisserie store grocery chicken? Grocery store chicken. Do you just you get the whole bird raw, show up, and you powder that guy with the spices and
Yeah,
pop it in
that's
the oven?
literally
What?
it. I'm pretty sure you just like put some salt on it and that's it. And you just stick a metal pipe through its bottom up through its
Mhm.
neck. And then you do that about 10 more times on the same metal rod. And then it just cooks for like 8 hours.
Hmm.
It's really simple and it's so good. And then they have like a rosemary lemon one. You just pop in a half lemon in its butt. You just boof half a lemon and then a couple
Mm.
of sticks of rosemary and you're good to go.
Damn. In that
Oh.
gat.
Yeah.
So you
God damn it.
so you entered you're a professional at entering chickens. And they also enter you quite a bit as well, I hear. Through your
Yeah, it's
mouth,
a
of course.
symbiotic relationship.
Hmm.
What a crazy cycle of life. First you what came first, Ty, the chicken or the Eric?
Sounds like you were the Eric you are today was built on the chickens that got impaled before you,
Absolutely.
sodomized.
Jesus. Ty, let's continue where we left off and let's
Mm.
talk a little bit about Craig's in Los Angeles.
Right. Eric's trip to Los Angeles part 2. So many tales to unpack.
So many parts. I feel like I've dominated this podcast for the last 4 or 5 episodes with my stories, but
Mm-hmm.
it's almost done.
Eric's tales. So you went to Craig's Los Angeles, known paparazzi hotspot. Not sure if any celebrities are there, but you're rolling up and you almost have a blue check on Instagram.
Almost. This podcast has a virtual, I guess, like imaginary blue check.
We have an application sitting in Instagram's inbox, if that counts for anything.
Absolutely. If anyone has a contact at Meta, let us know. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I went to Craig's and I'm a little bit like confused by this place because everyone told me to go. Like everyone was like, "Oh, you must go check out Craig's. It's a must dine in Los Angeles." And then I look at it on Google. It says a celebrity hotspot, and outside there's like paparazzi and like three bouncers. I'm like, what's going on here? Like this place must be the place to be and be seen, you know? So I make the rezo. No thanks to Shane at Amex. I did it myself. But I roll up in there and I don't think I see anyone famous. I mean, like the average Instagram follower count is probably like 1 million, and I just have no idea who these people
Mm-hmm.
are. The net worth in the room is billions and billions of dollars. I had no idea, but just seemed like a normal family restaurant with like robust menu that spanned across all like genres of food. Like my
Mm-hmm.
evaluation of it was that it was Joe Forte's meets Pepino's meets Cactus Club. It's like the
That's a
perfect trifecta of
mhm.
those three restaurants.
That's a very good evaluation of it, Eric. Well done.
Thank you. And you've been, so you validate that as correct.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like going to a potluck. You know, you're like maybe I want some spring rolls and I want to touch some cheesecake at the same time.
Absolutely. So that was actually the hardest part about ordering there because we were like, do we go seafood and then get like a little branzino? And then I was thinking about getting the cioppino as well, maybe with some oysters to
Mm-hmm.
start. Just go full seafood route. But then,
Mm-hmm.
like last minute, as the waitress was coming by, I said, "You know what? Scratch that. We're getting the ribs and the chicken parm."
That's a really good combo, dude. You're gonna be carb loaded.
Oh yeah, dude. I was having meat sweats all night, but it was
Wow.
worth it, man.
So I think the food is like pretty good there, and the atmosphere is like fun and cozy, and there's like an energy to it that you don't find in a lot of restaurants. But after hearing you describe your experience walking in the restaurant, I'm starting to think that this is just like a regular run of the mill restaurant that hires paparazzi to stand outside every night to make it seem like important people go there. I don't know if anyone important
Mm.
ever goes in there. I did have when I went there, the one guy next to me at the bar said that he saw Mariah Carey come in one time, but or was it Jennifer Lopez? Some they kind of look the same, but either way, I think he might have also been a plant. Looking back now, like was he
Oh shit.
a plant at the bar and the paparazzi are plants too, all to maintain a facade that this is a celebrity hotspot?
I think so. And it's not uncommon for LA people to phone restaurants in advance and tell them that a famous person will show up, or for them to like call TMZ and be like, yo, I just saw this person, but it's actually them. You know what I mean? So like when they pull up, there's already photographers there. I heard this is a thing
Mm,
to like just get high quality eye stock, getty images of yourself.
right, right. So that's
Yeah,
if the media is not interested in you, you can call in a bomb threat that there will be a an A-lister rolling up to the same function so that the
exactly.
red carpet's ready and waiting with the cameras pointed at you when you roll up. The old
Hmm.
switcheroo.
Deal switcheroo.
Hmm. What an
But this
interesting
made
tactic.
me, yeah, this made me kind of like interested in the actual lore of the place. And I was like, why do people go here? Like, why do celebrities choose to dine here? They can dine anywhere. It's not even that expensive. Like, sure, the ribs were $70 Canadian, but like for somebody who is like driving around in a Lamborghini truck and is like gonna take the helicopter to LAX, like I could see them spending more to not be seen around normal folk or to like have a private room. And maybe that's what they did. Maybe there is a private room in there that I just was not, I didn't have a clear line of sight of.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? You know what I mean? I'm just like, my head's scrambled high. Is it Juice Bar 2.0? Like, do they have the same marketing agency behind their tactics?
Dude, both Juice Bar and Craig's do have some dark corners you can get lost in. So perhaps it's just about good marketing and good lighting have a lot of overlap.
Wow, you're
Like,
right.
do you think that Subway sandwich, that meatball on that footlong is actually good, or do you think they just pointed the studio lighting at it the right way to pick up that texture?
Yeah. No, I totally get it. They have to like sp- spread the meats a little bit. You know what I mean? Pull the meats out just to get the right
Mm-hmm.
angles. But what I
Yeah.
will say, Ty, is there was one table next to us, okay, a big group that had, it looked like some parents and like some kids, right? And like maybe some other people.
Mm.
And then midway through the meal, these like two, like 6'5", like 250 pounds bodyguards walk in and like start mingling and like chatting it up with them, shaking their hands, saying hi, and then just kind of like wander off. So I'm like, so
Mm.
this table next to us has their own private security. Are they somebody I should know? I had no clue who they were. And I was like, what's
Damn.
going on here, Ty?
So taking the kids out, this could be a like an owner, like related to the owner type situation. It might not be like your traditional
Mm,
Hollywood genres of people. You might just have like restaurateurs, which is
right. So
the
maybe they're
least
hired
interesting for
by,
them.
yeah, maybe they're hired by the venue, which would be Craig's. But then I would expect Craig's merchandise on them. They were wearing like a private security company's merch. So
Hmm,
I don't know.
interesting. Yeah, maybe just some oil hairs or something like that. Uninteresting money.
Totally. But yeah, that was Craig's, man. That was all I really experienced there. I gotta say the better meal that I had was lunch the next day. John and Vinny's
Hmm,
had a
a
nice
staple.
little, a staple. Had two different glasses of natty wine along with a roni and a pizza and a pasta and a salad
Hmm.
and a
Okay.
tiramisu and fuck, what a perfect day, you know?
Gee. Yeah, dude, you can't get enough of that Zaza, eh?
Do this. I live by the za. But
I gotta
the
ask,
natty
Eric,
wine
what
and what's that?
okay, yeah, I gotta ask, why you keep going to restaurants named after men? Like, that's a lot of male first names being dropped in one trip.
Yeah, dude. Who's John? Who's Vinny? Who's Craig? You know what I mean? Who are these dudes? Yeah, that's a good point. It's kind of like
Pack all
when,
these reservations in my phone like some sardines.
yeah, pack them in this phone like some pizza slices. But you know what? When it's like when Drake raps about like random names, he's like, I
Mhm.
used to fight over Monica with Jason. It's like, who's Monica and who's Jason? We don't know them.
We don't know them. Curious to learn more.
Yeah, exactly.
So you are dabbling in some natural wine at J and V's. Tell me more a little bit about that. What color was it? Was it orange, or are the natural winemakers and creating new colors now? You get some purple wine, maybe some blue wine.
Yeah, we'll tie in the industry. We don't like to describe wines by their color anymore. You know what I mean? We usually
Feelings
start
only.
with adjectives like juicy, chilled, the year, you know, the region. Those are more helpful, actually. We don't really
Dude,
deal with color.
I think at this point, winemakers are only using like architectural terms to describe their bottles. They're like, this wine is like brutalist, but it's got a bit of mid-century, mid-century warmth. Just take the edge off.
Absolutely, Ty. This has a mineral aftertaste.
I actually heard this. I actually went to a winery this summer. That's whole shtick was they were branded their wineries after like architectural buildings around the area, and they kept drawing these parallels, and they had this great quote. I'm trying to pull it up for you because I write everything down. Modernist architecture, a passion of ours, offers metaphor for our wine. The composition and identity grows from the essential elements: the land, climate, and people.
Keep
Fucking
going. Don't stop.
brilliant, dude. Dude, that's all I got for you. That was the quote. And I thought, you're so right. They both are born from the same things. The same things that make Subway, actually. The land,
Mhm.
climate, and people.
Wow. The my my left brain is like super into how like wispy and metaphorical that
Mm-hmm.
is, and I just like love it. I get off on that. But the other side is
Mm-hmm.
like, wow, like this is definitely a circle jerk of
Mm-hmm.
like architects and like wine snobs, you know what I mean? But pretty fun. I like that as well, I
Dude,
guess.
yeah, if you're at the center of the Venn diagram, you're like bricked up right now to this podcast.
If you're in the middle of the architect and wine connoisseur bukkake, then you're in for a treat, you know what I mean? For some
Oh
white.
yeah, dude. Dude, yeah. If you're in the center of that Venn diagram, like your future's looking really bright. Like
Yeah,
you're at the right place at the right time right now. It's only going to get better for you. There's only going to be
absolutely.
more of this.
Totally. But yeah, Ty, I've this is like two restaurants now in a row, literally Friday and Saturday, where there was one wine on the menu that had this word in brackets, chilled.
Dude,
And you know I'm fucking going for that one. Like I
yeah,
can't
dude.
not get the chilled red, you know?
I get chills when I see that word on a menu.
I have chills down my spine when the guy says, "Would you like some chilled red?" I'm like,
You're
"Fuck
like, "Oh
yeah, I
no,
do."
wait, it's chilled? I'll hop in."
Yeah,
It's
I'm
chilled?
out. Yeah, dude. And it's my favorite move now is to like start with like a martini or something, and then when they take away the menus, you're kind of flying blind, right? So when
Mhm.
I ask for another drink, I say, "Give me a chilled red," and they immediately know exactly the wine I'm talking about.
That's really smart move. See, I always request for the menu to be returned to my possession, and I feel like a bit of a chump doing that
Mhm.
because I
I
feel
never
like
do.
it's a bit neurotic, like what do you care, dude? You're one drink deep and the meal's almost over. You want to make a late game decision right now?
hmm I like to memorize all potential options before they take away the menu. That way, I never have to ask for it back. And then I go
Mm.
and I just like go down the line of like what I'm wanting. You know what I mean? It's like
Mm.
this is the pre drink. This is the during the meal, and then this one's like a little dessert nightcap. You know what I mean?
That's a lot to hold in that little head of yours. How do you maintain conversation while remembering all that?
I don't. I just sit there with my hands underneath my legs, and I think about my alcoholism.
This is what's nice about Subway, Eric, is that it's as complicated as you want it to be. You can play the run ahead game like chess and like plan your next moves for the future decisions, but you can also just live in the moment, fly by the seat of your pants. The sandwich
Hmm.
artist will hold your hand through it, one vegetable at a time.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
you can be a big dummy there, or you could be a mastermind like you.
Yeah, that's true. And the thing about Subway as well is no decision affects later decisions. You know what I mean? You
Hmm.
can start anywhere and end anywhere, and it tastes just fine. You know what I
By just
mean?
fine, you mean the exact same.
The exact same. And you can't say the same thing about wine and food because if you order a steak and then you suddenly decide you want an orange wine, you might have a meltdown and go, "Fuck! I can't get the orange now. I ordered red meat."
Dude, yeah, nothing. It sucks when your flavor combinations don't match traditionally, but I would be comfortable with that combination. I think that sounds really riveting. And like, just because like the Michelin tasters, professional tasters, don't like it doesn't mean that my palate won't.
That's true. The
I
in-house
bet I bet.
sommelier is like kicking himself. He's like, "Ah, oh, these fucking tourists, man."
Well, I'm sure the sommelier wouldn't like my 4 sauces on my footlong either, but the artist certainly doesn't. I'm not mad about that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's that guy's name from Drivers, Drive-ins and Dives or whatever? Dine-in,
Mm,
diners.
Thai Ferrari,
No, dude. What's his
Guy
name?
Ferrari,
Guy Ferrari. Fieri. Guy Fieri.
Fiat.
What do you think he'll think of your 4 sauces? He'd probably be into it. He'd probably deep fry it after. Be like, fuck yeah.
Dude, yeah. Yeah, dude, bro's like, ka-chow, need to add a fifth. Get some heat in here.
I just realized you saying Thai Ferrari just did not inch me any
I
closer to the answer. I was like so confused by that. What the fuck?
I'm surprised that you weren't anywhere to catch that. Like I was middle of the field, and you, where were your other like your catchers?
Hmm. Yeah, the correct pronunciation of his name was throwing me.
That's okay. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I feel like we are in a world where it doesn't matter what you order with what. Nothing really matters. I'm eating gummy bears for dinner, and then I'm gonna like what get the wrong wine color with my steak dinner. Like
Hmm. Yeah,
be
nothing matters. You're right. Just do
gatekeeping
what you
anything
want.
at this point doesn't really matter.
That's true. One of the rules I used to live by, Ty, was if you're like trying different wines, you gotta start light and go dark as the night goes on. So, just like the
Mm.
sun. First, it's shining, white wine, and then as it sets, you go into the oranges, and then into the reds, and then into the dark reds.
And
And
I'm assuming
that's
that's
a good rule
because
of thumb.
the flavor notes of the dark are so much richer and heavier that you would lose the nuance of the whites if you went in the inverse direction.
I believe so. I believe so.
That's the same rule for beer. You start with your like light lagers and work your way up to your dark stouts. I'm curious if it would work the same with Subway sauces.
Hmm. It's probably also the same as like flying economy and then going to business and then first class.
Hmm.
Like you can't start with flying private and then end up in economy. Like you'll kill yourself.
That's true. It only goes up. All luxuries eventually become necessities. But Eric, I think the situation with sauces isn't light to dark. It's white to red, and all sauces fall on the white to red spectrum.
So just like wine. So you gotta start mayo. It's cream
Mhm.
based. Okay, it's actually acidity, right? It's basic to acidic.
Is that it for wine, or are you saying that's it for sauces, or both?
I would say just sauce. But think about it, like if you start with a spicy like sriracha sauce and then you try anything else, it will just taste bland. But if you go in the opposite order, you're just kind of building on the intensity of the flavor.
Yeah, 100%. Imagine having the hot sauce and then treating yourself to some light mayo. Yeah, it would cool it down, but you're not getting the lemony, mustardy notes of that white mayo. The egginess of
Yeah.
it. No, gone.
So
Poof.
here's how we implement this, Ty. Next time we're at Subway, we have to ask for a sauce flight. And what we're gonna have to do, every 3 inches, switch up the sauce. First
Mm-hmm.
3 inches, mayo. Second 3 inches, ranch. Third 3 inches, maybe like some kind of vinaigrette, sweet onion sauce, perhaps. Fourth 3 inches, spicy.
Dude, I love that. You're going to have to ask, in order to order it correctly, when they pull the first sauce bottle out, you're going to have to say, no, not hot dog, hamburger today.
Like a spiral? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I want it. I don't want to go like lengthwise here.
Mm, yeah,
Widthwise.
exactly. They're gonna have to employ some really careful sleight of hand maneuvers in order to get that right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Some penmanship.
Sandwich ship.
I don't know if the sandwich artist has got it in them. I feel like they always have the shakes, the yips.
We'll fucking that up for sure. But you know what? It's not too bad because you can just remove the top layer of veggies.
That's true. You scrape it off.
Yeah, exactly.
It would be quite the tasting flight, if you will.
hmm Take a trip with me, Ty, through the sauce section.
Speaking of trips, Eric, I'm at time of publishing. I will be sitting poolside in Palm Springs, California,
Oh
spending a few
hell
days
yeah!
there, soaking up the sun like a little plant. You are what you eat. Am I right?
A little SpongeBob,
Photosynthesis. Yeah.
SpongeBob SquarePants over there, soaking it up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Drying out. But I'm gonna come home looking like the dried out SpongeBob, not the regular
hmm
OG.
hmm You're gonna be sitting poolside, calling for the server, being like, "I need it. I need another beer."
Yeah, but it's just a mezcal margarita and not a Krabby Patty.
This is
Damn.
how I know you don't watch the show, Ty, because that episode he was not in the ocean; he was in the atmosphere of oxygen, and he was drying out.
Oh,
He
he
was in
needed
Sandy's
water.
compound.
Mm. Can you identify every scene from every episode of every season of SpongeBob SquarePants, Eric? I wouldn't surprise if your semi-autistic ass could do that.
One podcast later.
Yes, well, I will definitely. I plan to be dehydrated this weekend, if that's what you're saying. Without a doubt, that is in the cards. It's
So
the
you'll be
desert.
doing a water cleanse, and by that I mean you'll be avoiding water for the entirety of the weekend, and you'll only drinking coffee and beer.
Yeah, dude. I have not one, but two sixes of 818 in my Instacart right now, ready to pull the
Oh
trigger.
shit!
It's gonna be a great weekend.
Wow. Can you should schedule it so it like arrives at the same time as you do, or is that the plan?
That is the plan. I want to be pulling up as the same time as like a sweaty dude on a like electric bike.
Wow, that's amazing. Do you know if duty free has it? Because that could be an opportunity to save some money on it.
That's a good call. I haven't looked into that. I didn't want to deal with carrying around a bunch of bottles. You get off an airplane and you already have too much stuff. You have like the 6 inches you couldn't finish before you left. You have your Rimowa on the other hand, and you also have your phone out trying to get the Uber Black. So
hmm
what, I'm just gonna have like a tote bag filled with tequila around my shoulder. It's too much for me. Too much for me. I'll be overwhelmed.
That's true. This is exciting, man. So for this whole weekend, you'll be hanging out poolside. There may or may not be a poolside oyster tray that was floating around. I can picture you in the pink flamingo floaty, and there's like another floaty with the oyster tray, kind of like making its way around the pool.
Dude, cruising the Airbnb selection in Palm Springs this weekend, it's remarkably difficult to find a suite or home that has no pink flamingo floaty in the pool. That was not a
Really?
requirement. It's like if they put that in there, and if there's a neon sign, we're out. But lo
Wow.
and behold, they're almost the chokehold they have on the Airbnb economy is crazy.
They're actually considered a pest by the municipality.
Yeah, the flamingos are a invasive species.
Yeah.
So are the Canadians.
Now that I think about it, my pool that I stayed at in Palm Springs had a pink flamingo floaty as well. Just purely coincidence.
Dude, I can't wait to flash forward 24 hours from now when I send you a Snapchat of a pink flamingo with crying emoji. Ah, they snuck it
Mhm.
in here.
You should just film you shooting it in the head.
Damn, can I get a gun off Instacart?
Oh, probably. Just go to Walmart. Actually, you're in the state of California. It could be difficult for you, but I guess Arizona is not far.
Mm-hmm.
Nevada.
Yeah, we'll see what the delivery fees are.
That'd be crazy if you can get a gun delivered.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that should be like a plot of a movie. It's like you get a gun delivered and then you just shoot your driver. Jesus.
A 10-second story. Yeah, I don't know. There's some sort
A
of like
short
no knock
film.
warrant joke in there. I don't really know yet. I haven't found it.
Totally. This is awesome. So, what do you have planned out there, man? You have some dinner reservations, I'm assuming, maybe some late night activations. What's on the calendar for Big T Dog?
Yeah, well, dinner was tough to figure out, Eric. I'm a first time listener, long time listener, first time visitor of Palm Springs. So, and I realized
Really?
that to hit some of like the most compelling restaurants, you had to like actually go out of Palm Springs, like to the desert, to like some estates and stuff. That's where like maybe the most Instagrammable spots are. But
Mm.
I did peruse the Michelin guide and pulled a few spots from there. I think I have a table at the Colony Club on Thursday, and I'm going to go to a very fun activation on the weekend at a restaurant called Booze Hounds, which Eric is one of the only restaurants whose website homepage proudly declares that they accept pets. That's their whole
Oh
thing. Is that we're
no.
a bar that you can bring your dog to.
Oh my god. Only you would find that like interesting to try. Fuck.
Dude, I would have written it off immediately, but then it was on the first page of the Michelin guide for Palm Springs. So I'm confused
What the
and
hell?
I'm interested.
Dude, you're
So
gonna be you're gonna be chowing down on a nice pesto bolognese or something, and you'll just be like, there'll be a nice little chihuahua at your feet, like scratching your leg.
dude, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of bakers around there for sure.
What the hell?
No, gotta. I'm going out with my dogs. I gotta just take the pack to the pound.
Yeah, dude. Afterwards, you and the dogs are gonna go to the club and tear the club up as well.
That's the plan, my guy. So we'll see how it goes. But my tail's wagging. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm very excited.
My ears are folded as well and excited for you. Did you find a spot at Bar Cecil?
Oh, dude, I tried, but I'm not proactive enough to cop a reservation at a like reputably good spot that far in advance.
Man, because that place is right in the middle of the city as well, and it's
Mm-hmm.
easily accessible, and it's 10 out of 10.
I'm gonna try to like roll up close to closing and see if they'll squeeze me in at the bar or something. I feel
Mhm.
like it's in the cards. It's just a matter of schmoozing the hostess, which that's one of my specialties. That's the Thai signature move. Wiggle your way in.
Absolutely. And you could even try going right at opening
Mm,
and just picking the best table. Like I'm sure they'll let you in.
that is your preferred move.
Dude, the early rezo is a game changer because then Bay is not too tired, you know?
She's got stamina to hit all the after hours spots you want to go to.
Exactly. Cool, man. That sounds like a fun trip.
Oh, it's gonna slap. I will report back with anything that happens. I'm sure there will be some shenanigans. I do have a mini golf course in my Airbnb,
Hmm.
so we'll see where that goes.
God damn it.
I'm gonna. You're like he's crazy.
Dude, the way you vacation is like mind numbing to me. The way this guy vacations, man. Holy shit. It's amazing that we find a common ground on this podcast.
I know. Well, I think we both have an appreciation for each other's artistic endeavors.
Absolutely. No question about that. Man, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, where are you staying? You said an Airbnb?
Yeah, got an Airbnb for the whole set, just a few minutes outside of downtown.
Gang. That's right, because you're traveling with a big group. That
Mm-hmm.
is the move with the big group, I have to admit. But there is an Ace Hotel there, so you should definitely sneak into their pool.
I did see that. I'm going to be dining just down the street from them, so I'll probably swing by, check out their hotel bar scene.
Hell yeah, dude. All right, sick. Well, wishing you a great trip. We should probably talk about Kanye West's trip to Abu Dhabi.
Oh yeah, yeah, dude. Yeah.
Seems like a very fruitful, really like feet on the ground type of trip. You know what I mean? This guy's really
Mm-hmm.
feeling the earth on his feet.
He's getting his steps in. That's for sure.
He's getting his steps in. That's right. Kanye West goes to Nobu with no shoes on. And I like this a lot, Ty, because he rapped about this years ago, I think. He said,
Mm.
I might walk in Nobu with no shoes. He just walked in Nobu like it was Whole Foods.
Damn, this is premeditated. Then the picture that I saw of with Mr. Nobu himself and Mr. West, only one
Mm-hmm.
of them was wearing shoes, and it was not the guest.
That's right. He said this in 2010, Ty. It's on the song See Me Now. Do you know
Wow,
that song?
deep cut. Yeah.
That's right. This is cool, Ty, but I'm also a little bit angry because I feel like there's a double standard here. If I were to take my shoes off at a place like Nobu, I feel like I would be ushered out, probably like choked Draymond Green style and dragged out of the property.
You think the security is gonna come and grab you by your 10 little toes and pull you out?
100%. He's gonna get me in a leg lock and yeah, drag my ass out of there, leaving my tabbies behind. He'll
Dude,
be the
I don't
tabby
know.
swiper.
That was good. I don't know. I feel like you could get away with more at a nice dining establishment like that because they don't know your net worth, so they need to proceed with caution. Whereas if you
That is
say
true.
took your shoes and socks off at Subway, everyone is an equal in Subway. It doesn't matter if you're the richest man on earth, the most influential, or just a lonely podcaster. Like all feet stink
hmm
in Subway.
hmm Did you notice that at no Subway do they say at the door, no shoes, no service? The reason
You're
being,
right.
Ty, reason being, Ty, they can't see anyway. There's a whole like counter of ingredients in front of you. They can't tell what shoes you're wearing,
Yeah, you're
if
right. If
any.
it's wild, it's the wild, wild west from the waist down. The wild, wild waist down.
That's right. That's probably why the tiles are so dark. You know what I mean? So you can't see the grubby little footprints everywhere.
Yeah, and there's no mirrors. It's also like saying no shoes, no service is kind of anti footlong if you think about it.
Damn, good one. Yeah, you're right. You can't be ordering the foot long if you got no feet.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty funny.
That's
Do you
right.
think a footlong is offensive to people without legs? Like, do you think that
Damn.
anyone's ever complained about that?
It's not inclusive enough.
It really isn't. Who's to say what
Yeah.
is a foot?
Yeah, that's right. This is the common pitfall of the imperial measurement system, Ty.
Mm-hmm.
It's ableist.
It is a bit ableist, the whole footlong agenda.
Yeah, exactly. Oh boy.
What about the
Ty.
6-inch for guys that clock in at 5? Like, it's
God
a bit
damn.
offensive, don't you think?
Yep, it is.
Okay, we can end on that note, buddy. We're good now. I'm good.
I'm just trying to think of another one. I'm like, is it against short people? But that doesn't make any sense, Ty. Why would it be
Dude,
against short people?
height's vertical, footlongs are horizontal.
Everyone is taller than a foot. Let's just get that straight out of the way.
No, I think that's a fact. I think we can all agree we can oppress and racially profile or stigmatize a human under 1 foot. Oh wait, is that a baby?
Think Fresh podcast, everyone. Thank you for listening.
Ciao.
Ciao.